Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Carol. Glad you came. I'm going to give everyone a minute to show up. Wednesday seems to be a late day. Today is Wednesday. It's Memorial weekend, right before we came back. I hope everyone's having well. Maybe we can begin to set the energy. Good morning, Anik. So we're going to bring our hearts, Mother and Father, down within them. And I want you to take a moment to really feel the experience of the expansion as you do that. So you can begin to have an awareness of who they are and how they feel. Good. We're going to say our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. We'll ask for all the ascended masters to come with us, and all the angels, and all those from the universe who are living on the path and in truth of the light. We welcome them all to join us, knowing that we're in complete surrounded protection as we call forth Lord Gautama Buddha and his protective blue flame to be out around our grouping with his blue protective light. All right, now, this week we were given the task of detachment and to begin to work on that within yourselves and see if you could get insight on maybe what chakra it is, what is about it. And I'm just seeing for those few who are here today, did anyone have the opportunity to achieve that? I'll try to give you a minute to respond if you have something. If not, if you're not able to get rid of detachment, what happens is you begin to live your life from ideas and ways of believing from other people, from other groups, from other situations. So I suggest in the evening you take time and begin to let yourself and maybe listen back over who you were for the day to discover what is it that you need to detach from. It isn't that you go and say to someone, look, listen, we can't be friends anymore. It's a choice for you to let go of the cords you have to whatever it is, and that you begin to empower yourself to know that you know what's right and wrong or how to perceive things. This is a very big part of walking on the path and discovering yourself, just as becoming sensitive is. And what do you think it means to become sensitive? First thing we might think of when you think of sensitivity is crying. And that's not it. Anybody? Good morning, Marby. Well, I want to have you think around you. And let's see how energetic sensitive all of you are. Have you ever felt my vibration? Someone else in the group? It felt like the second chakra, and I was feeling challenged by it yesterday. Well, very interesting, because the second chakra is an emotional chakra, and it probably brings up emotions for you to begin to look at and raise your consciousness to not have to have a reliant on what emotions are telling you. What does that mean? That means some people you feel you need in your life, so you may choose to believe what they want you to believe, or act like you want them to act. Like if you go to their home, you'll go in and head and join on things that you've never understood, or if you get that feeling inside, then you wanna say, I have to leave. So being sensitive is a huge part. This is a spiritual channel, and I'm pretty sure everyone here wants to own their spirituality. But one of the first major things DK would tell you is you have to begin to define your sensitivity within yourself. So here's Barbara. I felt I was able to detach from the current state of world affairs. Excellent. Just send love, light, and peace. And for me, this was my solar plexus and heart. And most importantly, Barbara and everyone, it's to be who you are. To not let things that we have no control of be that which governs our life or put us into fear or whatever, anger. We need to live the light of the path, no matter what it is. So, Carol, what about sensitivity for you? What kind of things are you aware of? And are you aware of your aura, all of you? Are you aware of how and when it shifts? These are things to become really, truly awake, need to come about. So we'll see if anyone responds. The more we can disconnect, detach from what's happening in the great scale of the world, the more we'll be individualized in God's light and we'll be fine. We've observed here that even the geese are reacting in anger and attacking. And it was very clear to us that they're acting out how our world is behaving. And it's a very sad thing. So first and most importantly, we must eliminate that within ourselves. Okay, so good morning, Paul Freed. Missed you. Well, how was your weekend? So let's talk about the aura. The aura is filled with your consciousness. From 1 to 7 are the first 7 chakras. The higher you go up a chakra, the faster it will spin. And that, if anything, is the first thing you want to feel, is when you go and you spin your chakra in the root and it's scarlet red, it's, you want to get it going. And then you go to the next one, it's a little faster. But that's how the levels of your aura create itself. Because from that root chakra, there is a field of blue that comes up and around your body. And it's about your physical health. So you want it to be moving, balanced, and even. And so if you were to examine yourself on that first level, you wouldn't find any pit holes or any torn tissue. And the same things when we go to our second chakra, which I already stated, that's emotional. You don't want it to be, it needs now to begin to start the movement up the channel and be a little bit faster. Not to the ultimate, but a little faster than the root. And it'll be orange. So feeling your aura really begins with experiencing all your chakras, feeling them, feel the texture. We know the emotions are there in this chakra, and how do they show themselves in this chakra as you move out through the energy field all around you. The front will feel different than the back. The back is about your sexuality and your finances, so it could be totally different to each other. But if you can have the sensitivity to begin to feel these things, you've taken a huge leap in understanding consciousness, and that it's the rate of the movement of every cell as you are. And when you grow, you expand that level of consciousness in that chakra, and you become more light. That's how it begins. Okay, good, not bad. Good morning, Cavell. All right, good. So for those of you who joined, we're going and talking about detachment and the difference as you begin, how it's going to make a difference in you. Because you may be feeling how other people are feeling around you because that's what they all do and you want to be a part of the group. But if you can detach that cord to all that group or the individual, you might define how you really feel about it. And what that does is a number of things. First, it tells you where your own work is. And if you've been living your life without your own personal work, which I know some of you have not, then this is going to be a huge step forward for you in the study of the consciousness of man. Because interestingly enough, we are very alike. And the difference comes when it's how we choose and how we allow freedom either to be or not to be within us. And we don't understand that we have the ability to transform things that make our heart hurt or thoughts that I don't want to go there, it frightens me. Well, it all changes. When you take a few moments, maybe we'll start with 15 minutes, half an hour every day. What am I aware of about myself? First, I would say most people are aware that you love yourself. So our work here is going to support you in deepening that love. And perhaps for the first time, understand what love is. Love is an embrace of joy and yet of peace. And so many parts of ourselves in the beginning of our journey isn't embraced by ourselves. We find out when we go to look at detachment how many things we're doing because someone else desires it, wants it. And these are the things and times we're working on right now to let them go so we can discover who you are, how you feel about things. Well, we are all agreed we do not feel good somewhere inside about what's going on outside, but we have to know that God's there and all the angels, and we have to feel that everything's going to work out fine. So that would be our first detachment we want to make, is to the feeling of everybody else who's afraid and not knowing what to do. Any other questions about our topic? Sensitivity is also very important. There is more than your human experience. Why there is an aura is the development of your chakras, and that aura keeps getting stronger and stronger. And when many times you hear or see me, you can feel that aura, not just me as the human, but the spiritual part of me reach out and touch you or help bring you into a state of peace. So these are simple beginnings of how you can begin to see the change inside of you. And it's by choice. No one's going to do it to you but the light within you. For we all have, Mother Mary has for all of us, built our hearts for the journey that she could see that we are on. So you can always call her in, not that she's going to sit and talk to you, but perhaps before you lay to go to sleep, her color is emerald, and she'll work on your heart and uplifting it. If you come to a place of study where you understand there is more, you would be surprised of how many people there are in the world that don't understand there's more than whatever life they've locked themselves into. It's a constant energy. It takes, I'm not going to kid you, many years. I've been on this path for 40 some years. And I'm still not to the end, or I wouldn't be sitting here. So it's a path that is happy, it's peaceful, and you begin to have an understanding of why things are the way they are, and how some people choose it and some people choose to bring light to what's happening and can transform their lives. Any questions? Every being upon the earth is built with the understanding, or I really shouldn't say built, but evolved, brought into the world as a lovely being. Whatever else has come and is within you is from parents or groups and families around you, and some of your own past karma also comes. Okay, so it moves and someone says, and Paul says, wow, that is so true. And what we don't always tend to believe is that we have the ability to change it. And what I'm here to say to you, we all have the ability to change it. Every one of us can continue to work on ourselves and see the light and become detached and begin to own your truth. An interesting word, truth. Once when I was in Shasta, the house we had a big yard. We were out in the yard. And lo and behold, we looked up in the sky, and there was, I'm sure you've seen the picture of Isis, and her wings were out like up. Well, the truth about Isis, why did she come? Because everyone was to learn the truth of the voice they spoke. The energy of God lies in the heart. So there she was. Didn't even call her in. There she was. And her wings, they were beautiful. We have pictures of it. Wanting everyone to know, to clear your throat, clear how you speak, how you experience the energy of Father God as it moves through your throat. Very powerful. So these are just a couple things, and there's so many pieces to living and growing and being upon the path. It's a wonderful experience. Any questions? What the sensitivity will do is, yes, in a good way, let you become sensitive about your world, about other people whom you do love. And it's going to open up your inner hearing Has anyone ever said to you, you don't hear me? Well, we're going to work on that so that we can become someone who's a listener. And with an open heart, respond. Because the heart from before being sensitive, I don't know what you would have said. Probably other choices. But if you can come to where your heart is open and you can hear, that would mean the throat's open, your heart's open. You're beginning to have your aura be in a different situation. What I can assure you is that life will change. And one step at a time. That's why often we hear them say they're on the path. That's why we ask the universe if they are on their path of light. Because on the path of light is discovering you. It's healing all those places where you ache or you're afraid or you're in separation or you're attached, and allowing you to be free, allowing you to heal. So I hope that all helps everyone. Does anyone have a question? Excuse me. I'm very well. They're very aware that there's a lot of psychics on here, and they get like 66,000 people, 78, 100 and some. But my path has never been to be a medium or a psychic. It's to be in connection with God and to help people to discover who they really are inside and to become angels that work for God. So that is what we're here and what we're about. And very powerful as you begin to learn. And we worked on opening your aura. How is that going for everybody? Opening your sight. Because then you begin to be sensitive to it and you can see it. And a lot of what I'm talking about, you'll be able to see and choose to observe. It's a very powerful thing to have gifts. And what you need to understand is gifts come to different people for different reasons. And yes, that's all tied up into what your purpose is. And a long time ago, God told me very simply, your purpose is to love yourself first, and then others will come. And I would say that's pretty much true for everybody. For anyone who is learning about love, first. You can never help another person if you're not in the place of understanding what love is. So love is just so precious and so much of the open heart. And when you go to open your heart, you really don't understand always what you're going to find. Paul's saying he feels the power of it. Yes, and that's where God lives. And God's going to be inside that heart. And one day you're going to hear a voice and like, oh my gosh, it must be him. Or a mother's voice. These are all things that come as you take your time and you begin to grow and discover who you are. How sensitive are you? Another thing from us watching the geese, we're very aware that the father of the little eggs over there, he can hear geese anywhere there are before they're even here. He must have such a gift. And I don't know if it's just a goose thing or, oh yeah, he can know and be prepared for they're usually attacking him for whatever reason. I don't know what goose life is. But for us, it's to see the power that animals themselves have. And yet so many of us choose to not even try. So it's very, very powerful. And I hope this discussion all does something deep inside of you to know that right now you don't know the extent of who you are. You can try to imagine it or pretend it, but it doesn't work that way. The pretenders all show up, and it all kind of falls down when that isn't the truth. But the truth is, there is something, and God will let it be revealed to you as you show that you are respectful and in honor with all His things. All right. I guess I have no questions today. So, detachment, important, because if you're detached and in the human world with everything, how are you going to become the higher spirit that you are? That which you've worked 70 lifetimes to achieve. It's the time to wake up. That's what this world and how it's moving is about. For people to wake up and for people like us to be there to help people wake up. Yeah. I've had 149,000 lives. That's how many times I've been here. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, we met this little man who created this whole energy work. It was powerful. And he had that ability. He wrote us papers of every lifetime we had and what we did. So, how are you going to be in and experience this beautiful experience of life that you are? I would say you need to surrender and be there however way you can be. And if you're willing, it will unveil itself to you. I do not know of anyone who's made that intention and it's not happened. So, everybody's quiet today. Barbara, any thought? Cavell? I didn't feel anyone who wants to speak through me today come in. So I think it was more to have you have a day of contemplation for yourself. So we talked about detachment, being sensitive. We know the other day we worked on seeing and love. What a combination when you put them all together. If you could truly become that in truth, what would the world be like? All I know is it would become more blessed instead of everyone being afraid. You know, it all works like the paradigm shift. How many are in a grouping that all think the same way? And you would begin to become one of those who are people who are working towards the evolution of humankind. And I would say right now we don't know what that's going to look like. But our faith in where God's supporting us and loves us is it'll be always happy, loving, and treasure. So, no questions? I'm going to go, and I'll see you on Monday, and we'll see where our healing takes us. Then I hope you come back. I appreciate you all coming, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the freedom of being. Here's Jules. Didn't want to interrupt coming in late due to the family life. Detachment. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Julie. And amen to everything. That's right, Paul. So God bless everyone. It's going to be a powerful few days because one thing I know that's a possibility is there'll be more love within you. Ask for it to come to you and show you and let it become alive. All right? Many blessings.